Hi, so this is another one of my dream journal type of videos. Okay, what the dream that I want to talk about in this video is just one that I had today. And okay, let's get straight into it. So the way this dream starts is, um, I feel that from what I can remember, I don't think that there was another part of another dream that was before this, but that's as far as my memory goes because with this dream, I don't remember that much of it because um, like the moment I woke up, most of this dream began to fade very quickly. So for some reason, that's how it was for this dream because for many other dreams, it usually doesn't happen that I forget them that easily because usually I tend to remember them, especially if it's a vivid dream or if it had something interesting going on, which this one did have. So in this dream, I'm in this. It's some kind of a remote location, right? It's not in a city. It's not like a town or something. It's a remote location, and there's this mountain. So I am somewhere. It's a fairly high mountain, and I'm somewhere like maybe above the middle of it in height. So I'm in that place, and in this area, and it was evening time in this dream. so in the place where I was over here, there was this building which was almost like a cave. So with all these walls and everything else that was a part of the building, it was made out of stone, but it wasn't like it was stones that were laid out. It was completely natural stone, so it looked like a cave, and it wasn't covered. Now this is one of those things that I have encountered many times in dreams, which is buildings made out of stones in a way that it hasn't, in a way that it's naturally made. So it's buildings which have straight walls and um, actual areas where you can which look like they've been designed, but these buildings aren't man-made. They are natural, and they're like caves. So they're made out of stone, and it's all gray. It's not covered. It's not like it has been touched in any way by humans, but it looks like it is designed to live in. So that is like an interesting that's an interesting aspect to this dream. That's why I wanted to talk about this one. So I'm in this place, and there were these other characters in the dream, and there were a lot of people. There were a lot of people in this, in the vicinity of this place, and there must have been um, like over 100 people in this place. And they were like in small groups, and they were talking to each other. And it was all it was like a pleasant place to be in. And I saw that some of these other characters were here, and I was talking to them. And these characters, I guess, in the dream, they were my friends, and I like talking to them. And it wasn't anything unusual. It was just like the usual things that you like talk with your friends and whatever. So it was one of those things. And after that, with I think a couple of the people that couple of these characters, I was supposed to leave with them for some other place. And this is where it gets kind of surreal, because I saw that I think they were waiting for someone to come out, because they were waiting for someone who was in one of these other rooms. I think that's what it was, and we were supposed to leave. And there was this window which was facing outwards from the mountain, so you could see, you could see the expanse beyond the mountains. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but it was evening time. So I said something about leaving, and then they said, "Oh, we'll go or whatever." And then I said it might begin to rain or something. And then I looked outside of this window, and if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong here because this is kind of fuzzy. The window was it was like one of those Gothic windows. It had this shape, this pointed arch type of shape. And it was a pretty large window. So I looked outside the window, and it was the weather. At the beginning, it wasn't like anything crazy, but then it started getting surreal, and it happened fairly quickly. And so I looked outside, and these clouds began to swarm in, and there was there, there was this whole disturbance with the clouds, and then this lightning came on, and the weather turned stormy very quickly. So in a matter of, I think, a few seconds, the weather just shifted into something else, because it was like a calm type of weather, and it just suddenly shifted into this violent type of lightning and clouds type of weather. So I looked out, and then I started thinking. I thought like, oh, now we're not going to be able to leave in this kind of weather. So after this, I was kind of like checking out the place, and I was walking around, and after that went on to one other side, and I think at this part the surroundings kind of changed. So the situation was similar, in the sense that there were these characters, and I was supposed to go somewhere with them, but and we were supposed to leave. So, but now the place was somewhat different. It wasn't. I feel it wasn't a mountain anymore, and it was just some kind of a. It was. I feel it was like a hill. I mean, we were still like above ground level, but it wasn't as high as we were before. So yeah, I just went onto one side, and like I was talking again to one of these characters, and it wasn't. I think it wasn't anything interesting, and I don't even remember much of what I said. It must have been like just a couple of words or something. And I feel that is where either the dream ended or it shifted into something else, because I don't remember anything beyond this. At least I don't remember it. Maybe there was something, but like I said, for this particular dream, um, the memory is kind of fuzzy, which usually doesn't happen. So well, yeah, that was the whole dream. Now, what I found interesting about this is the whole cave building kind of thing, and that part where I looked outside the window. That was pretty interesting. So yeah, well, I just thought I'd make a video about it. And so yeah, that should be it for this video. And for the next videos, I have a few other ideas in mind. And if more of these, like tonight or something, I have another one of these great dreams, then maybe I'll make another one of these, or I have a few other ideas to make videos about. So yeah, that should be it for this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.